Hi, I'm Lori Laws. I'm an intervention teacher.
I am Daphne Carroll. I am an instructional coach.
I'm Nelda Hash. I'm also an instructional coach.
I'm Lisa West. I'm a self-contained autism teacher for elementary.
We will be talking about phonics from kindergarten to third grade.
So, to fully understand how the strand of phonics fits into the components of reading, it is important and helpful to study the Scarborough's reading rope. So, right here, we have an image that I actually took a picture of our collaboration room where our teachers meet to plan. And so this is on the bulletin board, and we use this Scarborough's rope to help us to remember how all of the components play a role in reading and in developing our skilled readers. So Scarborough's reading rope is a widely recognized framework for understanding skilled reading. And as you can see, the strands in the upper rope for language comprehension and the lower rope, word recognition, come together to create fluent reading, which we also call reading comprehension. So phonics plays a crucial role in strengthening the lower rope strands. So we zoomed in here on the lower rope strands of word recognition. And as you can see, phonics plays a very crucial role, especially when it comes to decoding. So phonics, which involves the relationship between sounds, which are also called phonemes, and their written symbols, which we call graphemes. And phonics is foundational in developing a reader's ability to decode words. So in Scarborough's rope model, phonics helps strengthen all of the word recognition strands. It also plays an important role in the development of skilled reading, and it will be the focus of this whole presentation. So every person, and this actually comes straight from our book that we're reading by Christopher Such, The Art and Science of Primary Reading. He says that every person who has become a fluent reader has grasped the connections between graphemes and phonemes. But the way in which he or she learned the sound spelling correspondences, which is phonics, could have happened in various ways.
When we talk about the different types of phonics instruction, we have systematic versus non-systematic. The systematic instruction, phonics will students will learn letter-sound relationships in a clearly defined sequence. As students master a letter-sound relationship, they will progress to the next letter and sound spelling pattern. The lessons in systematic phonics also usually follow their own pattern, depending on the program that is being used. A non-systematic phonics program does not follow a sequential pattern. The instruction is more informal and could be part of an integrated or another kind of instruction. For example, teachers might address misconceptions during reading and writing activities. They may focus on whole word reading or vocabulary and corresponding definitions. Another option available is teaching students to memorize sight words before beginning phonics instruction.
All right, now then, talking about the systematic versus non-systematic, there are also different methods of phonics instruction, and this was provided in our text from the class. But we thought about giving you some examples of what this might look like in the classroom. So I'm going to go through each one and go through a different example. So for synthetic phonics, it says children learn how to convert letters or letter combinations into sounds. So an example of that would be like teaching the student that the letters C, H together make the ch sound and making sure that they recognize that. Next, it says analytic phonics, where it says they learn letter sound relationships and previously learned words. So for example, that's when they might say, well, I know that cow, makes the k sound and cat also makes the k sound. So they must both start with C. Next, we have analogy-based phonics where they use parts of word families. So for example, the R in cart sounds the same as the R in part. We also have phonics through spelling where they segment words into phonemes. So ship has three sounds, sh, ip has three sounds. We also have embedded phonics, and I don't have an example for that because that's where it goes in with what you're doing currently in the classroom. So, for example, as they're reading a word, they get stuck, you start working on phonics based off of the word that they get stuck on. For onset rhyme phonics instruction, it says that they identify the sound of the letter or letters before the first vowel, the onset in a one syllable word, and the sound of the remaining part, the rhymes. They're still breaking it apart. There are two main categories, which is top down and bottom up. In top down, basically it focuses on whole word or parts of words and a lot of memorizing. So in that, that would go for analytic, analogy, embedded phonics, and onset rhyme. Because for example, the onset rhyme, they're focusing on different parts, but then the other ones might be whole word as well. For bottom up, we're looking at how the relationship is between graphemes and phonemes or phonemes to graphemes. That would be synthetic or phonics through spelling. I also included a quote here from that same article, which says that systematic and explicit phonics instruction significantly improves children's reading comprehension. So the bottom up is more systematic usually because you're focusing on the relationship between the letters or graphemes and the sounds or phonemes. And so usually those are more systematic and explicit. And that is what is recommended for best teaching for reading.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of phonics on reading. If you look up here at the top, we have sounding out our words. We're first going to say the first sound and then go to the second sound and the third sound. Then we're going to slide all the sounds together. And basically, simply said, without phonics, there is no reading comprehension. But the bottom line is you have to know your phonics. Such emphasize that phonics instruction is crucial for building early reading abilities and greatly influencing student success. The research consistently demonstrated that systematic phonics teaching leads to notable improvements in children's reading skills. Studies show that students who receive explicit phonics instruction perform better than those who do not receive inconsistent phonics teaching. On our next screen, we're talking about still the importance of phonics on reading. And not only is it just for K through 3, but it's also K through every grade. You just hope that by third grade you have your phonics down. But when you teach a special education classroom, sometimes it takes longer to get that basics for the phonics down. We're continually, even in fourth and fifth grade, reviewing our phonics sounds so that we can get our words and get our reading more in line. And a lot of my guys do have issues with comprehension because they don't have their basic phonics reading skills down. And to sum up everything that we've said, we have a video that explains the importance of the phonics in reading, and it kind of goes along with our RISE reading workshop that we had to complete.
Contrary to popular belief, phonics is not being taught in all schools. In fact, phonics is not being taught in many schools. There's many places where kids are being taught to guess. And that's a big issue because phonics is how kids learn how to read. And phonics is the sounds the letters make. Sometimes we have one letter that makes one sound. Sometimes we have one letter that makes two sounds. Sometimes we have two letters that make one sound. And we've got all this kind of tricky stuff with vowels. And phonics can seem intimidating and seem like it's too much to teach, but it's actually quite simple. You've got a list of the phonic sounds, and you teach them in an order. Eventually, once your child learns their phonic sounds, they're able to read almost any word they see. This is much more effective than teaching kids to guess based on a picture, and it is much more effective than teaching kids to memorize sight words. If your child does not know phonics, it will seem like they can read right now, but once they get to harder and harder books, you're going to see that reading ability fall apart. If your child struggles with their reading, I want you to focus on two things. Focus on their phonics and focus on how to start blending those sounds together into words. Contrary to popular belief, phonics is not being taught in all schools. In fact, phonics is not being taught in many schools. There's many places where kids are being taught. Yes.
Pause.
And that's a big
Just
issue.
for the next slide.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
All right. Well, that first part was so important. We had to listen to it a couple times. That's okay. All right, I'm gonna show you a video of a small group phonics lesson that I was coaching into a classroom. So this was one of the first times I was in her room, but our school is actually going through this shift from balanced literacy to systematic phonics in kindergarten through second grade. So we're working really hard to increase our skill set. And this lesson shows a small group of kindergartners who have learned all their letters and sounds, and they're really ready to start blending those letters together to make words. So we're working on CVC words with the short I. I think this segment is showing mostly encoding, which is basically spelling. All right, this time we're going to say the word sip. Sip, you ready? Okay, watch me. I'm going to push my sound into their sound boxes. Are you ready? Watch. Tell me your name again. David, watch. Watch me. Yeah. All right, you think you can do that? Let me see. Push them back up. Good. Then you're going to take your finger and you're going to blend them together. Zip. Right. Good job. All right, push your sound boxes up. Right now, we're going to think about what letters it takes to make those sounds. So what is the first sound? Yeah. All right, put them in your box. The first sound is, right? Yes. Okay. All right, it's time for our vowel. Is. Sound comes next. I is in the middle. That's right. And I makes what sound? Is. Good job. Okay, I is our vowel. That's why it's red. Okay. All right, good. All right, let me put one in my box. I almost forgot, but I don't have an extra I. I'll have to get one in my box in a second. Okay, you see the little dot on the I goes at the top? Good. Okay, let's tap it again to figure out what letter makes the last sound. Are you ready? Let's get our tappers ready. It goes this way. The people go this way. The people the P goes that way. That's right. This way. This way. Nice work. Okay. P goes this way. All right. So we're going to take these sounds out and we're going to replace them with the letters. All right. All right. What word do you have on your board? Oh, please. What word do you have? Sip. Good. I love to take a sip of hot chocolate on cold days. All right. So now I'm going to write the word sip. Watch me. And all of my letters are going to start at the body line in the middle. Are you ready to try it? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give you a marker. So that should give you a good idea of what it looks like to teach phonics with sounds and then moving from those phonemes or sounds to the graphemes or the letters that represent those sounds. All right, this time we're going to say.
This next video is an example of decoding with a third grade intervention group. I'm using the Wilson reading system, and this system is designed for children 3rd through 12th grade, but it was actually designed for adults with dyslexia. And this program has 10 components that are all based around phonics. There is sound drills connected to graphemes. There's a variety of different decoding activities and a variety of different encoding activities. There's also a section for phrasing, sentences, and putting all of it together.
Okay. Nice job. Good job fixing that vowel sound. All right, Abraham, let me see you read one. Okay. Ish, mish. Beautiful. Pablo, let me see you read one. You pick. Uh, uh, all right, so
we're having a little bit of trouble there. I want you to remember your digraph sounds. Okay? SH. There we go. SH, ship. Stay with me. SH, ship. Good. Now let's check that card again. So I want you to point where you see the digraph. Okay, what sound are we going to say for both of those letters? SH. There we go. You're going to say there. Okay, good. E. And what's your vowel sound there? Watch me. Uh, shut. Try it now. Shut. Beautiful. All right, Catalea. Okay. Beautiful. And Danya. Nice job, guys. Okay. And if you would like any more information about phonics, we have a pamphlet with lots of activities and lots of links to programs. We just all agreed that it is a very important instructional strategy that we need to use with all of our kindergarten through third grade students. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.